All right, hello there, Midwest Star Wars Fanatics. Welcome to Midwest Star Wars Fanatics Live, sponsored by our friends over at TRG Toys and Collectibles and the hashtag show. Sorry for all the technical difficulties and lateness for tonight. My computer decided it wanted a lot of updates, quite a bit of time. So with that, I want to welcome you guys and welcome my co-host Travis.
Hello, everybody.
We've got a lot planned here in the next couple of months. Obviously, Travis and I will be heading down to Nashville for ICCC and enjoying some time down there. And then obviously next month, one of the big Star Wars event is here, and it's Star Wars Celebration. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. Tonight's episode is going to be a little short tonight, but we're going to try to get as much celebration talk as we can. Again, feel free to chime in with the comments. We'll make sure that we can answer as well. And with that, so Travis, I mean, how excited are you? This is going to be your first Star Wars Celebration. And not a lot has been really revealed yet, which is kind of surprising.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what are your thoughts right now with this being your first go around?
Yeah, I mean, so far the guest lineup is looking pretty good. Like you said, not a lot of details yet on too many of the panels. I know there's been a couple that have been announced, but I think similar to probably what I've heard from previous celebrations, there'll probably be a lot of surprises, kind of unexpected things, whether it's in like an Andor trailer or maybe some Ahsoka news, things that we know are upcoming we haven't got a lot of details about. Makes you think, hey, maybe there's something they're holding back for their big event.
Yeah, I know it's definitely interesting because with the guest announcements, it seems kind of light as well. And we'll get into the guest announcements a little bit later. But even like with the panel schedules and stuff, there really isn't a lot out there that we're seeing, and hopefully that'll get updated here soon. We follow our friends over on Facebook at the Star Wars Celebration page, and to make sure we're not missing any details and stuff. But it's been pretty quiet right now. We're getting a few updates here and there. It seems like it was rolling out really quick at one point, and then it just kind of stopped, which I thought was very interesting. One of the areas that we did get some is about some of the panels. Now, what we do know is that there's going to be the Bad Batch panel, also a panel with Dave Filoni and Farva. I can't talk right now. And as Bob said, Farva. Was that Super Troopers in my head?
Troopers,
right yeah. But we do know that they're going to talk about some of what's and obviously with McGregor coming as well. Now we know Friday they're going to talk about what's coming in the future. Obviously Obi-Wan, the Bad Batch or some of the ones on there. But do you think we're going to get a lot more with this panels? And so like, what do you think we're going to see?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Because like you said, it's pretty light with just Bad Batch and then the Mandalorian panel. Yeah. Like, there's really nothing on the schedule yet about I mean, these are all things that were announced, and we've seen little to nothing about them. Rogue Squadron's kind of up in the air, Rangers up in the air, Lando up in the air. So I do hope that there's some sort of clarity provided on a lot of these things, whether it's individual panels or just a future of Star Wars content coming general panel where they talk about some things. Because I think fans are kind of we're happy with what we're getting, but there was a lot of other stuff promised that we are still excited for and haven't had absolutely zero information on.
And I think it's interesting too because it's we've got obviously Obi-Wan coming out on the 27th now with 2 episodes, so it makes me also wonder what are we going to see? Are they going to show the episodes at Celebration? Is that why they pushed it back? So obviously something evolving around the Obi-Wan series, especially with McGregor going to be there for his first Celebration appearance as well. So I could see that happening in one of the panels. But yeah, I mean, there's still so much more that we have coming. Obviously, Ahsoka, Andor, which we did get some news on that. We'll talk about Andor here real quick. It seems that it not confirmed, but confirmed by one of the crew members that it was scheduled for that was first scheduled for 5 seasons, but now it looks like it's going to be 3. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, what are your thoughts? That we're finding out about the seasons of Andor, but we haven't even seen the first season yet.
Yeah, I mean, even the fact that they said that they thought at one point it might be 5 seasons was kind of a shock to me.
Yeah,
'Cause it felt like, there's probably a lot of content, a lot of stuff they could do with it, but knowing that it eventually just runs into Rogue One, again, how many stories and things can they tell in that sort of time frame to have it planned out for that many seasons? But I guess at the same time, I guess it's good to know that Disney potentially isn't shy about doing
yeah.
several seasons of a particular series or show if it's doing well. But yeah, it is interesting that there's more information about the future of Andor, which hasn't come out, than there is about the first season of these other things that we know are,
Yeah.
in development and in filming and production right now.
Yeah, so and it'll be, and obviously, celebration is a lot more than just the panels as well, especially, with all the vendors and, there's
Mhm.
going to be a lot of exclusives and stuff. Obviously, Funko will be there, but also thought that was kind of interesting too. Is we have not seen a lot with the exclusives, and that to me is very surprising. um, we've had some Funko leaks, but usually, like, we know like Hasbro usually has exclusives. Lego has an exclusive. I mean, to me, it's odd that we have not found out really much more about of all this in the lottery system. We don't know what no one knows what their schedule is going to be. So I just find that really interesting. And I know all you is watching as well. Please feel free to comment what do you think about how so far the celebration rollout is going. We would think after a couple years of just sitting around here with COVID that we'd be more ahead of this. I mean,
Mhm.
your thoughts on that? I mean, it's just
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean,
it's weird.
yeah, it definitely is strange being this close to a convention and not having more information about it. I don't know if I don't know if a lot of the exclusives that Hasbro and other companies were planning 2 years ago, they're like, "Well, we can't sit on this stuff for 2 years." So they've already released some of those things, and then now the way COVID was last year, they thought, "Hey, this may not happen. We're not gonna try and put too much effort and work into exclusives where it's not a guaranteed thing again this time around." So maybe there's just it being kind of just this weird 2-year delayed, trying to fit it in, the dates shifted around, that maybe there's not gonna be your standard exclusives like we're used to, at least from some of the bigger people where the production times are so long, not to mention, a lot of these things are being manufactured probably over in China. And I
Yeah.
know, the company I work for is running into shipping issues and delays because some of the provinces over there are being shut down. So this could all just be a very odd and non-normal celebration when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Mm. Yeah, and it's just weird to me. But like, I mean, even like vendor wise, we are getting a few announcements of some of the vendors that are going to be there. I know Diamond Select Toys. When I talked with merchandise manager Zacho last week, Diamond Select and General Giant, of course, will be there, and but they didn't really even say anything about an exclusive. So I thought that was kind of interesting because usually they have some kind of exclusive for the conventions
Hmm.
as well there. So, and then what also I found very interesting this year about Celebration is it's usually about the fans. And this year, and it could be a lot because of COVID, I understand that they're trying to reduce numbers and some things, but I've also noticed too, and Travis, obviously you weren't at Celebration. Just like I said, you're gonna be your first one, but a lot of the fan clubs that got denied tables and stuff this year, I thought was pretty interesting. I know Indiana itself, our club did not get in. That's the first time in many celebrations that did not happen. That's happened.
Hmm.
So I thought that was interesting too. It seems like a lot of the normality of what we're kind of used to is not there this year. So I don't know if that's concerning or not, but hopefully, it's just maybe it's just all of a sudden they'll just surprise us the next 2 weeks with all kinds of information. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hopefully there'll be a flood of information, but you know, I guess with any conventions over the last, 6 months or so, trying to think, I think C2E2 was one of the first ones that kind of came back, one of the bigger ones,
yeah,
and then Lexington last year. But it's like, this is just sort of the way it's going to be until we get through, I think, this one full cycle. Then hopefully, like the next version of conventions like C2E2 in Chicago coming up in the fall and stuff there on out. We'll get closer back to sort of a normal schedule, a normal cadence and things when it comes to the conventions. Because yeah, right now it's, I guess this is the normal, is for it to be to be not normal.
Um, and we got all kind of, I mean, and just not just stuff at Celebration. There are all kinds of stuff going on outside of Celebration as well, which we're going to have another show next week to kind of talk about that. And I'm hopefully going to bring some of our friends over from the Celebration page to kind of talk about that. But one thing, the Bunta Eve, and I probably, sorry Spencer, I probably messed up the saying of that, but that's going to be going on the day before Celebration, so the 25th, I believe. And they actually just announced too they're going to have the first signing of the first female stormtrooper, Samantha Allen, if I pronounced her last name right there. Like I said, I butcher everyone's name, so sorry. So there's all kinds of stuff going on that is from outside Celebration to inside Celebration to the Star Wars night to you name it. It's going to be a pretty busy week for everybody. And speaking of busy weeks, another reason other than the exclusives, which we really don't have a lot to talk about this on this show, because all we really know is the leaked Funko ones as of now, are autographs. A lot of
Mhm.
people go there and are excited about the autographs. We have some great guests, and obviously we'll talk about McGregor a little bit, which is huge and already sold out for his stuff. But we got some good guest lineups and some guests we're seeing at a lot of conventions. I know, like Anthony Daniel, we're going to see him at ICCC, but
Mhm.
same way with McDermott as well. Ashley, those ones are going to be at Star Wars Celebration. But there's some other guests too. What are some guests that kind of stuck out to you? And we have some of the slides. I didn't put them on here, but there are a few guests that I'm very excited about, and I'll go into a little bit, and who I kind of hope to see, and who you might even, I already know who you hope to see, but what guests kind of stuck out to you, and who are you still hoping that might get announced for this?
Yeah, I think one of the guests I was glad to see, not necessarily because I'm a huge fan of theirs per se, but I'm trying to remember the right order of the name. I think it's Kelly Marie
Hmm.
Tran. I was glad to see that she was getting, to be there at Celebration. I think her character, and we've talked about this, I think, in the past
Yeah,
a little bit with some of the sort of toxic fandom things that can seem to occur lately on the sequel trilogy. And I know her character took kind of just a really bad brunt of social media sort of
yeah,
toxicity and things. So almost kind of similar to Ahmed and like Jar Jar's. Over time, eventually people like embracing them more often and things, and kind of giving them a little bit more credit and due that they deserve. So I think having her there, I think, was pretty cool. Yep, there she is. Yes, I thought that was just a nice touch that she was there, and a couple of the other people, like you said, Ashley's always great to have there. Ian, Anthony. So yeah, overall it's a great lineup. And then, of course, we'll talk about Mr. McGregor himself
yeah.
making it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited so far with the lineup, and it's definitely it's interesting for first timers and veterans, because there are a few names, like obviously Kelly Marie Tran. Autograph session is amazing. I know I'm excited about picking up one of those. Um, but it's definitely, there's some names out there that are common with Celebration, and there are some that aren't, obviously, like McGregor, which was huge. Like, I was actually, I was kind of surprised, but I wasn't at the same time, because of with Obi-Wan. But
Hmm.
definitely a great headliner. Makes me wonder if Hayden's going to be announced as well. I know he's
Yeah,
been he's
because
been at just about every Reed Pop convention this past year, so I
yeah,
can't.
I mean, given the fact that he's kind of making the rounds on the convention circle here lately, it probably won't be a surprise that he makes it. It'd be nice, talking about people that aren't there, that haven't been announced. It'd be great to get like Pedro there from the Mandalorian,
Mhm.
because I don't know that he's done any conventions that I'm aware of at this point yet. So it'd be, a nice surprise guest to potentially get him announced, given that they're doing the Mandalorian sort of past what's happened panel and what the future of that is. He'd be a great addition
Yeah.
for that as well.
Yeah, and then obviously, for Boba Fett fans, there are going to be a couple Fetts there as well, and I popped it up earlier on accident. Obviously, we're going to have Daniel Logan there. Dickie Beer, who was the stuntman, the stunt Boba Fett for Return of the Jedi. And who knows if some others will be there. Hopefully Morrison maybe will get the call and show up as well. We'll get him announced. So those are some of the ones that are going to be there. You're going to have some Jedi, like Amy Allen's going to be there. Also, what is pretty awesome too, pretty much the whole cast from the Bad Batch is going to be there, and there it
Mm.
is, right there, the whole cast. D. Bradley Baker, who is like the voice of every Bad Batch member, and just about everybody else. So there are some good guests here as well. So I'm pretty excited about what's going on, and I'm sure there'll be some more announced. Well, hopefully we'll get kind of a bigger thing. I'm really hoping. I know a lot of people, everybody always gets on me about this, but hopefully Ahmad Best will be there for Jar Jar. I would still love to meet him.
Mhm.
Again, obviously, the Book of Boba Fett characters. Who are we going to get? Kay Slackroff's going to be there. Emily Swallow, I think, was on the list. So I mean, we got a pretty solid lineup coming
Mhm.
here,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
hopefully we'll get some of the ones that aren't also that are normally on the convention trail. So that's what I kind of go for there. Um, but let's talk about the one that kind of disappointed everybody today. Obviously, a lot of rumors out there. A lot of birdies on talking to everybody saying that there's a good chance Mark Hamill um, could be there this year, and I'm still not counting them out yet. I'm saying it's a trap. I'm going Diablo Akbar here, um, because it's kind of like the same announcement he had before. But are you kind of surprised that Mark Hamill announced today that he will not be at Celebration?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if in the past he's ever announced when he wasn't gonna be somewhere, so that was kind of, I guess, unusual, other than maybe he was just tired of people messaging him and tweeting him and stuff, like, saying, "Hey, you're gonna be there." He finally just came out and said, like, "No, I'm not gonna make it." I mean, if he can't make it, it's totally understandable. His reasoning, if he was filming somewhere, I think overseas, actually, I think is what he's put in his tweet, this why, he wasn't even gonna be in the States in the way with COVID is and film schedules and production stuff. It
Yeah,
it it may be complete total misdirection to try to really surprise people, but at the same time, he's a working actor, I guess, and if that's
yeah,
the issue they're
it,
running into, and eventually, at one point, this convention wasn't supposed to be this time of year, so
yeah.
it
It's
was supposed
true.
to have been later in the year. Maybe he could have made it then, and since they moved it up, that thing conflicted with his schedule, and it was just like, well, you know, got to get
Yeah.
paid, got to go film this, this thing I'm doing.
Yeah, and he did have the same. He did do last year. He did say that he was out filming for a movie last year as
Oh,
well. So
okay.
it's kind of like the same thing. But there's something still like kind of in the pit of my stomach saying that I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe not show up for autographs, but like he'll show up for a panel or something. Like I don't know. I'm not counting him out 100% yet because
Mhm.
obviously if anybody follows Hamill on Twitter knows he's one of the biggest trolls in the world. And it'll be funny if he does show up and kind of surprises everybody there
Mhm. Yeah.
as well. So I thought that was interesting. But let's talk a little bit about Obi-Wan and McGregor. I mean, how awesome is it to have, probably one of the most anticipated, and honestly, I think it's probably more anticipated than The Mandalorian was. Um, you know, how awesome is it to have McGregor there for celebration I mean, we got him for 2 days.
Mhm.
And especially for the Obi-Wan panel and everything.
Yeah, I mean, given that it's the, was it 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, so we've got that prequel trilogy, anniversary built into it, plus the first 2 episodes of the series coming out, and Obi-Wan is on top of everybody's mind, so to get him to make it to his first celebration is a pretty big, it's a pretty big moment, I think, for all the fans.
Yeah, like I said, it would be pretty awesome though to see him and hitting together again, on stage for a panel.
Mhm.
And maybe they can even squeeze a Samuel L. Jackson in there, and maybe even Jango Fett head. I don't know,
There you
but
go.
it'd be fun to see a lot of that crew from and getting that. I mean, I'm excited about it. I mean, just
Mhm.
the opportunity just to go to Celebration to me is just wonderful and exciting. But I'm very excited about what's going on. Of course, obviously this will be my first celebration in LA. I've been there a few times, but not for celebration, so this should be a good time for everything here. But for you being a first timer, for any of you guys out there listening as well, let us know. Like, and you, Travis, what are you most looking forward to with your experience at celebration?
Yeah, well, right now I'm looking forward to finding an airline ticket that's not going to cost me a fortune. So that's top of mind for me right now. So if anybody out there's works for Delta, has any flight vouchers, and wants to hook a guy up, let me know. But no, I mean, I think like we've talked about previously, and I think, oh man, it's probably been a year ago when we talked with Spencer on here about it, and kind of just listening to you guys talk about how great Chicago was, and seeing all the posts on social media and people getting excited. I think really for me, and I'll get a little bit of that this coming weekend down at ICC Con. Just it being a not a general comic convention, but a Star Wars specific thing, and just kind of soaking in just the overall fandom, and the artists and the vendors and all the fans, and just all of that kind of just being surrounded by that common thing that we all enjoy, which is Star Wars. And then really just I think the surprises,
Yeah.
like kind of being anticipating some sort of surprise trailer drop, or a special reveal at a panel, and somebody shows up and pulls off a stormtrooper helmet. There's Mark Hamill, or anything crazy like that. Because it just sounds like you kind of know what to expect a little bit. But there's a lot of just unexpected things that I think people that have been there time and time again are
Yeah.
surprised by. So it's just kind of just being a part of that, I think, is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to being around all the Star Wars fans again, because when you get there, you're away from the toxic fan base. You're there with people who are there because they love Star Wars, and it's awesome experiencing some of those surprises and those moments with them. Like when McDermott came out and surprised us all after the end of the Rise of Skywalker trailer. We're like, oh my God. So I mean, it was
Hmm.
just like so cool to have that, that experience, and just sitting next to somebody you don't know, and just watching everybody just get emotional, the tears flow, and the have everybody. It's just one of those fandoms that when you're with the right people, which is the people at Celebration, it's just unreal. And I just hope every Star Wars fan can experience just one, because it's just something that you will never forget. And I know, like, I still get chills thinking about some of the Mandalorian panel when we start watching the Mandalorian, the Rise of Skywalker, even the Rebels panel, which wasn't that big, but
Hmm.
at the time, and it still was cool seeing like the storyboards, seeing the behind the scenes stuff, and going over everything there. So um, that's what I'm looking more forward to, is being around the people, being around, all the people that make this such a great, fandom.
Hmm.
It's just unreal. For everybody who's going out there for their first time, I just can't wait to talk to you, and seeing how everybody's experiencing it, because you will be overwhelmed. So make sure you plan. Like I said, hopefully we'll have somebody, some of our celebration experts on one of our next shows coming up here, especially since the clock is ticking away. And hopefully we can find Travis a flight out there. We might have to shove him in
Yeah,
a
man, it's
suitcase
like
or something.
all the airlines know, like, oh, yep, I know why you want to go to Anaheim, so you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, luckily I'm taking a shortcut on my flight, so I'm not going straight to Anaheim right
Yeah,
away.
right.
So, uh,
I'm ready to fly into like Reno or something, and then just catch a bus or something.
but but yeah, I mean, obviously, celebration coming up on May 26th. Yes.
Mhm.
um yeah, because that's that Friday. Or yeah, so obviously we're the month countdown. We're there. It's like it's coming, so it's gonna be um here before we know it. And I know everybody's excited there. Once we get more everybody on the exclusives, we'll have a special for what exclusives, with the lotteries as well, going on. Hopefully we'll have more information for you the next time you see our wonderful faces,
Mhm.
and hopefully I'll have my voice all the way back too. And I apologize if you're struggling hearing me on tonight's episode. My sinuses have just been blowing my voice away today.
And
But
I think too, speaking of like exclusives and reveals and stuff, I think sometime probably in the next few weeks we should get our look at some of the exclusive artwork. I know we
yeah,
talked to Joe and Brian a few weeks ago. So I think that's due to kind of be released here probably within the Since we're a month out, it's got to be sometime here within the next few weeks, I would think.
Yeah, I think May 4th is going to be a big drop for a lot of stuff. So
Hmm.
be ready for there. Also, hopefully, once I can start finding it all, I'll have a May 4th update up on the hashtag show as well. I try to do that every year for everybody to find out what deals are going on and everything there. Hopefully, we'll have some good ones. I know Horror Universe just dropped some May 4th stuff. So hopefully, we'll get more there and I'll have an update on that as well. But with that, like I said, everybody, it's a short show tonight. We're just kind of going over some of the ins and outs of what's getting ready to happen at Celebration. Hopefully, we'll have more information on our next show. We will be going live next week. It'll be Tuesday or Thursday. Waiting to see what information rolls out. And if little birdies tell things correctly, we might have some more information to talk about. So we'll see if that goes as well. With that, everybody, I want to say, be safe, be ready for everyone's going to start planning, and hopefully we'll get those schedules soon. Again, I want to thank the hashtag show and our sponsor, TRG Toys and Collectibles, to help with the show to make it possible for us to talk to you all. Cody, he just showed up. Cody, thanks for coming in. ICC, yep, that's this weekend. I will see you down there as well. And again, I cannot wait to see you all this weekend and also at Star Wars Celebration. I know Travis is going to be excited. He's getting a couple of first taste here. I'm freak. So we'll get that real quick. I mean, how excited are you about going for Nashville? About this convention coming up?
Yeah, no, I mean, from talking with you last year, after you went to it, so I think we talked with Michael last year, right before you went down, and then we talked to him again, this year, and then just seeing the guest list, I was super, just kind of blown away by the guest list they had for, a non super well known giant, like New York or Chicago sort of convention.
Yeah.
And again, like we talked about, I think just seeing the excitement on their Facebook convention page, even people posting on ours, who's all going to be down there. It's gonna be great. I think to just get down there and sort of be surrounded by again all the fans who are excited to be down there, and definitely looking forward to my first one of these as well.
Yep. So yeah, it'll be a good time. And definitely, I know for everybody down there, make sure you come check us out because more likely we'll be at the bar most of the time after the convention's over. Plus, we'll probably hopefully hit Broadway as well, and kind of going from there. But I want to thank everybody who watched tonight. Again, this was kind of a short show tonight. Unfortunately, like I said, technical difficulties and then other schedules, we had to kind of cut one short tonight. But we will be back again live next week, hopefully with a lot more Celebration information. And we also hopefully be going live as well from ICCC as well. So did I say enough C's on there? You guys know.
Yeah, I was like,
I
it's
always,
almost like it's like ICC. So it's like, yeah, ICC con. It's just a lot of C's in there, so it gets confusing. But yeah, I mean, anybody out there that's watching now or after the fact, if you're gonna be down there, definitely, like Greg said, keep an eye out for us. Post on the Facebook page if you come across any real cool stuff down there, and be on the lookout for us posting and articles and maybe a stream from down there as well.
yep. All right, and then once again, thank you. Make sure you guys check out TRG Toys and Collectibles at trgtoys.com for some of your collectibles needs. Also, we have some information. I do want to drop this information real quick before we go, Travis. I'm sorry. We will be pushing back the silent auction this year. Unfortunately, we kind of ran into some road bumps, but hopefully we can get roadblocks. I'm sorry, bumps. Hopefully we can get some things worked out where the glass kind of fell through, but hopefully I can get another artist involved as well with that. And then we're still looking for donations, so anybody who's out there, we are going to look for donations for the silent auction. Again, raising all the money and proceeds will go to Mission 22. I believe last year we raised close to $5,000 for Mission 22, so we had a very successful drive for them last year, and excited to do it again this year. But we will push it back. I'm looking at an August timeframe, but I want to put that out there. We are still going to be doing it in July over at Buy Me Toys. The Ronald McDonald House toy drive, Christmas in July, to raise toys for Christmas for the kids and the families that are there during Christmas time as well. So after that, again, be safe out there. We'll see you all next week. We'll see you at ICCC. We'll see you at Star Wars Celebration. And until then, may the force be with you.